Here are my thoughts on the four books that I read in April. So I want to start off the month with a kind of fast-paced, easy thriller. So I read The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, and I do have to say I was actually pretty impressed with this one. I feel like I've been straying away from thrillers for a while because I felt like a lot of them were becoming kind of repetitive or predictable, and this one surprised me. I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed this and how much this hooked me, and I thought the twist was actually pretty clever. So I enjoyed this one, and I give it like a 4.5. Next, I read Sunrise on the Reaping. I love the Hunger Games series, and this one was no different. Of course, I loved this. I gave this a 4.5 because I think for me there were some pacing issues in the sense that I feel like spent a lot of time in the beginning of the book setting up the story, going through some of the same things that we did in the first book, the Hunger Games series, like learning how the games work and preparing for the games, and then a lot of time in the arena. And then at the end, we went through like kind of a lot of very important big events pretty quickly. So that's the only thing that kind of made me, give this a 4.5 instead of a 5. But this was very emotional, and of course, I love this series. After the emotional journey that was Sunrise on the Reaping, I was ready for another thriller, so I read The Woman in Cabin 10. This has been on my TBR for a long time. Unfortunately, I gave this one a 3 stars. I thought it was really entertaining in the beginning. It really hooked me, but about halfway through, it started to drag a lot. I thought the main character's motives and the decisions she made were like really unrealistic, not something that a normal person would do, probably. And the ending was just really far-fetched. Um, but overall, it's like, a 3 star. I'm not mad that I read it. It was entertaining. Finally, I finished the month with Guild, the first book in the Plated Prisoners series, another one that's been on my TBR for a long time. And I really enjoyed this. I see a lot of people review and say that this is boring and that you just have to get through this book to get to the rest of the series, but I didn't feel that way. I genuinely enjoyed this, and I thought there was a lot of twists and turns and exciting things that happened in the very first book. I actually know very little about this series, so I'm excited to continue the series and see what happens. And that's my four books for April. What did you guys think about these ones?